Hey guys, Kevin, Muddy River Tactical. Thank you for joining me. Today we're out here at the range enjoying this beautiful day, and we're going to continue our comparison video series. You know, a lot of these questions we get are comparing guns to guns. People have one gun and are thinking about another one, so these comparison videos really help people. And today we have two pistols that are super similar in size. When you hold them together, there's very few differences in the size-wise of them. Those two pistols are the 365 X-Macro, which has been super popular for a long time, and the brand new Taurus GX4 Carry. So we're gonna shoot both of these pistols side by side here at the range, go over both of them individually, and then at the end, we're gonna give you our thoughts and the pluses and minuses on each pistol. So stick with us and we'll give you our full thoughts on both these pistols. All right, guys, we're gonna start with the Taurus GX4 Carry. Like I said, this pistol is one of those pistols that came out and I wasn't a fan of the regular GX4 series, but this Carry has really improved and kind of totally remodeled the GX4 in my opinion, much for the better. So it's got a 3.7-inch barrel, weighs just under 22 ounces, which is a super great weight, has two 15-round mags that it comes with, so it's got that great capacity to it. This pistol comes optic ready, so you can put any optics of your choice on there. The sights on it aren't the greatest. It's just a black serrated rear, but a white front dot sight, but they do work fairly well, so I can't complain about that. The one thing that really shocked me on this pistol, especially for a Taurus, is, you know, Taurus has always been known for budget type pistols. This pistol does not feel like the Tauruses of the past at all. I personally have had great luck with all my Tauruses, but they always had that budget feel to them, and I do not get that impression out of this pistol at all, and it shoots tremendously better than the other ones in my opinion. So the trigger on this gun is, if you look, it's got the flat face trigger on it, and then just a little bit of take up, and then that solid wall, which I really like in a defensive pistol, and then just a crisp brake. The brake's a little heavy. I'd say it's in the 5-pound range, but it's a good defensive brake. The reset is a little long, not terrible, and then right back to that hard wall, which I really, like I said, I really like in a defensive pistol, and this one they've done a very good job with. So it's got a full front rail, just like the macro will have, so you can put lights or lasers of your choice. The ergonomics on this pistol, we'll put a close-up here, but the texture is very good, and then they did this the finger bump right there, which I really like, and it allows you to get a great high purchase on the pistol with plenty of texture to control the gun. So I'm gonna put the mag through it. We're gonna shoot a few rounds here just so you can see the recoil stuff, and then we'll talk about it a little more. So as you can see there, this pistol just shoots very low recoil. Just the target acquisition's great. Like I said, the sights aren't the greatest in the world, but this pistol comes with a $500 MSRP, so it's still on the lower end of this caliber gun in my opinion. So for what you're getting, I still think it's a great deal. Overall, it just shoots great. So let's go to the 365. We'll go over the same thing, and then we'll come back and give you our opinions on both of them together. All right, so now to the Sig XMacro. So this is the comp version, so it's got a 3.1-inch barrel with the compensator on it, which makes it shoot like the longer barrel. So slide-wise, it's identical at the 3.7 inches on the slide as what the Taurus GX4 Carry is. This one has the traditional night sights from Sig, the green dot night sights. Sig makes great sights on their pistols. The sights are amazing, way better than the Taurus in my opinion. This one is set up for an optic as well. This one I've had a lot longer, so I got the Holosun on it. I'll end up putting a Holosun on the Taurus GX4, so we won't really talk about optics other than they're both optic ready since the Taurus doesn't have one on it currently. This one has a full rail on it, just like the Taurus does. The ergonomics of the Sig feel really good in your hand and are actually really similar to the Taurus, or Taurus is really similar to it since it's been out longer, but it's got that good texture on it. The textures are real similar. It's got this finger groove on it, and on this pistol as well, you get a good high purchase on it. The one thing I will note on the ergonomics of the pistols is the beaver tail on the XMacro I like more. It's got a better feel on the beaver tail itself. As far as magazines, it comes with 17 round magazines. So for the same size pistol, you do get a few more rounds in this XMacro, but overall they're very similar. The trigger in the Sig is a flat face trigger, and it's got about that much take up. You can see how much take up it's got there, and then a wall, and then just like I say with all Sigs, it's like a mushy break. So you either love Sig triggers or you don't. I'm in between on them. I would rather it be a crisp break, but they just got that little bit of mush to them, and it just kind of is what it is on the Sigs. The reset is very short and tactile, then right back to that wall. And like I said, it's a good break, but it's got that little bit of mushy feel in between it, just like the 365 that we talked about in the other comparison video. It's got that traditional Sig trigger, so you either love it or you hate it. It's just something to note for sure. So this pistol, like I said, is 3.7 inches overall. The barrel's 3.1, but the compensator makes it 3.7, so it's the same. The round capacity, you get the full purchase on the gun, and this pistol is right around the 22 ounce range, right in there too. So size and weight are super comparable. So I'm gonna throw the first mag through here just so you can see the recoil like we did on the Taurus, and then we'll come back and give you our thoughts and the pluses and minuses between the two pistols. All right, the Sig shoots very well, as you can see. I'm a fan of the 365, but I can tell you already just in that short, I shot the Taurus first, as you can see, the 365 is definitely more snappy. So let me go grab the Taurus GX4 Carry, and then we'll compare them together. All right, guys, so as you can see, both these pistols shoot very good and are definitely really close to the same size. We'll put some other clips up so you can see. I mean, you can put one up and not see the other one behind it. I mean, size, weight, everything, they're almost identical. The few things that Sig has over the Taurus, in my opinion, is you get a little more round capacity out of the Sig. You get 17 rounds compared to 15 round magazines, which I would guess Taurus will end up having some 17 round mags at some point. The Sig definitely has better sights on it from the factory with the green dot night sights. However, you can easily change these Taurus sights with any Glock sights, I believe. So you got unlimited number of options you can put on there for fairly cheap. So it does add a little bit of price upgrade, but other than that, they're super similar. So the one thing that really surprised me is with the comp version of this, they put the comp on it to make it less snappy. When shooting them, and I'll maybe put a side-by-side comparison up here, but shooting them, the XMacro feels way snappier than this Taurus, which just blows my mind because I've always been a fan of the XMacro. There's been a few things I don't like about it, but I've overall been a fan. But this Taurus GX4 Carry, crazy and as it sounds, shoots better than the Macro in my opinion. And then when you look at price, they really separate themselves quite a bit. The MSRP is $500 on this gun, which obviously MSRPs, you can always get it for less. I won't quote you a price because it depends on different parts of the country, so we'll just compare MSRPs. MSRP is $500 compared to almost $800 on this gun. So I mean, you got a $300 difference for not a lot of feature difference in my opinion. You know, the trigger, I like the flat face feel of the trigger on the Sig, but I'm not a fan of the mushiness of the break. It's just not as predictable, and it's just overall not as good of a defensive trigger in my opinion. Whereas the trigger on this Taurus GX4 has a, you know, you definitely know when you're at the wall and just a clean break. There's no in between. It's either the wall or a break. It's not a mush in between. So for a defensive pistol, you know, even at 5 pounds or whatever this trigger's at, it's definitely doable for a defensive pistol. And I think the predictability of this wall beats the little bit better flat face trigger feel of this macro. Round capacity, like I said, is the other difference. To me, in this size carry package, 15 rounds is plenty, so I wouldn't make a 2-round mag capacity change my mind one way or the other. Texture wise, if you want to compare those, and even just ergonomics, they both, we'll put a comparison up here too, but they both have almost the same identical texture to them, so you can't really complain either way. The finger grooves are really close to the same. The one thing about the ergonomics on this though is in this little finger groove, Taurus has texture all the way up where Sig stops right there, which annoys me and it makes it less grip on the pistol, so I don't know why they did that. So overall, if I was just going to say straight ergonomics and shootability of the pistols, I would choose Taurus for sure. Reliability wise, I've had this XMacro for a long time, ever since they came out. I've got, I'd well over 2,000 rounds through it, probably closer to 3,000 rounds through this pistol. I've never had a hiccup in the world with it, so it's definitely reliable. Accuracy's just okay. I wouldn't say it's absolutely great. It's a little snappy, and that mush in the trigger makes it's accurate, but it's not the most accurate pistol. Whereas the Taurus I've only had since it came out, so I've only had this pistol for about 3 weeks. I'm about 750 rounds through it, so enough rounds through it to say I believe it's going to be 100% reliable. I haven't had a issue or hiccup in the world with this pistol at all. I find that I shoot the Taurus more accurately just because, like what we talked about on the trigger, I know that that trigger break is there, and I think just the ergonomics of the texture there, the Taurus feels better in my hand than the Sig, which is saying a lot for the Taurus. I give them kudos on that for sure, because the macro feels good, but I think they've got them beat there. So overall, in my opinion, if I was going to the gun shop and I was going to have to choose between these two, there's no doubt in my mind after shooting them, I would walk out the door with the GX4 Carry, which I never thought I'd be making this video saying that, because the macro is always ranked pretty high in my opinion. But now with this option, overall, if they were the same price, I would still choose the Taurus, but especially with the price difference between them of $300 MSRP wise. So you can get deals, so don't quote me on that. You can get one of these maybe on sale somewhere for cheaper. But either way, this is a more expensive gun. There's just not enough features to justify it. I would buy this Taurus and throw an optic on it, or change these stock sights out, and overall I think you'd have a better package overall. So if you got these guns or have either of them or thinking about them, definitely let me know in the comments section below. Let me know your thoughts, or if you have any questions between the two, we'd be happy to answer them. You know, we do these videos to help you. We're lucky enough to get all these pistols in through the holster shop. We have to have them to make holsters and do all of our engineering process behind the holsters, so we're lucky enough to get all these guns to shoot. And like I said, a lot of times these reviews surprise me as much as they surprise you. Most people are not going to click on this video and think I'm going to say that the Taurus GX4 Carry is better than the X-Macro, and quite frankly, neither did I. When I started this, I figured, okay, I'll do the video. Not that the Taurus is a bad gun, but it's asking a lot to step up and compete with the macro. But like I said, I was just as blown away as you were. So let me know your thoughts and comments below. If you need any holsters for any of these pistols or any other pistols you have, definitely let us know. We're always there to help. You can check all of our holsters out at muddyrivertactical.com. Email us with any questions or concerns or anything you need, even not holster related, concealed carry related, between these two guns. If you have certain questions, email us as well. That email is support@muddyrivertactical.com. We do get a ton of emails, so I will personally get back to you as soon as absolutely possible. So I appreciate you guys joining me today, and until next time, keep practicing and always be prepared.